Welcome back. Today we are in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 17. Verse 17 says, "Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give delight to your soul." So when our sons and when our daughters misbehave, we need to correct them right away. We can't let it go. We need to stop them, say, this is not how it's done. You need to do it this way. And if you do that from an early age, they get that persona of I am learning, and they don't take it to heart. When I correct my son for something that he's done wrong, especially when it's something he doesn't know he's done wrong, he doesn't feel bad about it. He doesn't feel ashamed about it. He's learning, he knows it, and he's like, okay, and then he does it the right way. And so we need to do that with our children from an early age so that they will grow up keeping that humility and that spirit of learning. And that will help them so much later in life. Verse 18 says, "Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. Happy is he who keeps the law." So there's some times in God's history where he doesn't speak a whole lot, right? There's the 400 years of silence between Malachi and the New Testament. There are different periods in the book of Judges where God would raise up a judge to deliver the people, but then once the judge died, there was no new revelations at the moment, and the people did what was right in their own eyes. God would send punishment towards them, and then he would have to raise up another prophet to rescue them from the punishment. And so that was a cycle in Judges, and we see that everywhere. Is this where people aren't listening to God, when they're not following God, when they don't hear from God, they start to do their own things, and then so it says, "Blessed it says, happy is he who keeps the law." And so now that we have the Bible written down, Old Testament and New Testament, and we have the Holy Spirit living inside of us, we have constant revelation. And if you're like, I don't have revelation, I haven't heard anything new from God. Well, let me tell you this. Read the Bible. The whole thing, front to back. Just start reading it and reading it and reading it, and God will reveal something to you. But when he does reveal something to you, you are responsible to hear it and do it. So listen to what God says, put it into action. That is your responsibility. If you're like, man, God still doesn't speak to me, I'm thinking he told you to do something that you decided you wouldn't do. And you're like, well, tell me to do something else. And God's like, nope, you still got to do the last thing I told you to do. And so go back to whatever God told you to do last and do that until he tells you to do something different. Verse 19 says, "A servant will not be corrected by mere words, for though he understands, he will not respond." This is different than a son. A son should be able to correct it by words. But the servant, sometimes it takes something stronger than words. Sometimes it takes a cut and pay. Sometimes it takes some punishment of some sort in order to correct the servant. But a son who loves, he wants to please his father. He is going to do his best to do what his father wants him to do. Even if he messes up, he's going to like, oh man, I didn't do everything right. So this next time I get this chance, I'm going to do everything right. Verse 20 says, "Do you see a man hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him." Those people who speak before they think, fools have a better time of it than they do. So if you want to be wise, listen to James and be slow to speak, quick to listen. Slow to anger. So before you get angry, before you say anything, stop and think about it. Be quick to listen to what other people have to say, and that'll make you, if it doesn't make you smarter, it'll make you look smarter. So try that out. Verse 21 says, "He who pampers his servant from childhood will have him as a son in the end." So if you are in charge of someone, if you have a servant, treat them well. It doesn't mean pamper them like don't make them do any work, because they're still a servant. They still need to do work. Even sons need to do work. But treat them well. If you treat your employees well, because we don't really have servants nowadays, but if you treat your employees well, they will be like children to you later on, and you'll have this deep relationship. It's so good, and we really shouldn't be looking down on other human beings. It's not a good thing. Verse 22 says, "An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression." If you are angry or if you're furious, you're just going to add sin upon sin, and things are not going to get better. You need to take a deep breath and control yourself. That self-control is the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And calm down. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right, have a nice day. Bye.